for you to go. Time for you to go. Oh yeah, yeah. Time for you to go. Don't wanna believe it, but baby receive it. I'm leaving, I'm gonna achieve it. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. There is time for a change. Gotta get out of the range. Get your ride from this town. I don't want you around. 'Cause I am so over you. You find something new. There's no other way to let you know. It's time for you to go. Oh yeah, yeah, time for you to go. Wasting all my love in here with you. And there is nothing else that I can do. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Time for you to go. Time for you to go. I am so over you. You find something new. There's no other way to let you know. It's time for you to go. Time for you to go. Time for you to go. Oh yeah, yeah. Time for you to go. Time for you to go.
And welcome everybody, this is Michaelantonio and I am live. Hope everybody had a great day today. Just had a few things to talk about this fine day, one of which is an interesting story that I saw on my website here, and I thought I would share it with you. Plus, I wanted to share Trump's little interaction with a reporter today during his press briefing about the virus. I thought it was very interesting. You know, these people, this press guy, you know they have it out for him. That's what they're trying to do, is always trying to cause problems. And this press guy apparently, he's always talking about something that somebody else said, and it's just amazing. It's amazing how they let this stuff go on. I'm going to let it speak for itself. I'm going to show you a video from Trump today, talking to one of the press people, and it's kind of hilarious. So let's go ahead and take a look at that.
Yeah, Mr. President, after the presentation we just saw about the heat and the humidity, is it dangerous for you to make people think they would be safe by going outside in the heat, considering that so many people are dying in Florida, considering that this virus has had an outbreak in Singapore, places that are hot and already good?
Here we go. The new headline is Trump asks people to go outside. That's dangerous. Here we go. Same old group. You ready? I hope people enjoy the sun. And if it has an impact, that's great. I'm just hearing this, not really for the first time. I mean, there's been a rumor that, a very nice rumor that you go outside in the sun and you have heat and it does have an effect on other viruses. But now we get it from one of the great laboratories of the world, I have to say. It covers a lot more territory than just this. This is probably an easy thing, relatively speaking, for you. I would like you to speak to the medical doctors to see if there's any way that you can apply light and heat to cure. You know, that if you could, and maybe you can, maybe you can't. Again, I say maybe you can, maybe you can't. I'm not a doctor, but I'm like a person that has a good, you know what.
But sir, you're the president.
Deborah, have you ever heard of the heat and the light relative to certain viruses? Yes, but relative to this virus?
Not as a treatment. I mean, certainly fever
Yeah.
is a good thing when you have a fever. It helps your body respond. But not as, I've not seen heat or
I think it's a great thing to look at. I mean, you know. Okay.
Respectfully, sir, you're the president, and people tuning into these briefings, they want to get information and guidance and want to know what to do. They're not looking for rumors.
I'm the president and you're fake news. And you know what I'll say to you? I'll say very nicely, I know you well. I know you well because I know the guy. I see what he writes. He's a total faker. So are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? It's just a suggestion from a brilliant lab by a very, very smart, perhaps brilliant man. He's talking about sun, he's talking about heat, and you see the numbers. So that's it. That's all I have. I'm just here to present talent. I'm here to present ideas because we want ideas to get rid of this thing. And if heat is good, and if sunlight is good, that's a great thing as far as I'm concerned.
Yes, the House has now passed.
So as you see, this is definitely what the media tries to do all the time. Every time. I mean, they're just trying to trip him up, make it seem like he doesn't know what he's talking about. And this is a report that came out from an intelligent person who actually has done some studies and has been looking into this particular situation. And I've heard this for a while. The heat can destroy the virus, can kill the virus. Now, we don't know. Again, it's not a complete study. It's not done yet. But you know what? I look at it this way. Right now, we have a president who's trying to find solutions. That's what this all comes down to. He wants solutions to the crisis. And what do we get from these media people? The only thing they want is to damage his reputation and harm him. That's what it comes down to. They don't really want solutions, because if they really did, they wouldn't be talking like this particular reporter was just talking to our president, saying to him, they want, they don't want rumors. They don't want rumors. Well, first of all, it's not a rumor. Okay, it was a highly intelligent, respected member of the science community trying to come up with solutions to this problem. So anybody who says that that this was simply a rumor and it doesn't have any validity to it, I mean, it's just, again, what they're going at. This is what they're trying to do. They've been trying to do this forever, and it's just the way they are. I don't know if that's ever going to change. This is just the way they operate. They've always been this way. So, we're not going to change that, I don't think. I don't know if anybody's been watching the NFL draft. I know some of us are still a little bit upset about what the NFL did a couple of years ago there, but I know. Just to let you know, I don't know if you're interested. Breaking news: was it Joe Burrow from LSU was selected number 1 by the Cincinnati Bengals, formerly the Bungles, who hopefully they won't be anymore. But you never know. I wanted to tell you a story that was hilarious. This happened today, actually. And believe it or not, it was about a woman, I think somewhere. Was she in Florida? I'm not sure. Let me read the story here to you, but I thought it was hilarious. A topless woman who it says was pissed off. She smashed plates at the Denny's until the cops arrived. I'm not kidding you. I got to read you the story. It's hilarious. This woman is just... she literally was smashing all these plates. Let me see if I can get you a good picture here. I don't know if you can see this, but it's hilarious. It is just hilarious. Look at this. Look at this. She's tossing plates, smashing them. She walked into a Denny's and just started smashing plates. Are we going this crazy over this virus now? Is that what this country is coming to? You're going to go... Now, I'm not ever going to recommend, guys, please do not go and smash plates at the Denny's or anywhere else for that matter. If you're feeling a little bit crazy out there and like you want to do something that you don't normally want to do, you're going a little bit insane, find a hobby, a new hobby, not plate smashing. Maybe try to, you ever play basketball, tennis, hockey? I don't care what it is, just something other than smashing plates, because that probably was very expensive. So let me go ahead and I'm going to read this story because I think it's a hilarious little story here. Let's see. This was. Oh, it was. This is the headline, the little byline here. No mooning over Miami. This half-naked woman was topless, but she did serve up her own version of a grand slam, destroying at least 100 plates in a SoCal Denny's. Oh, Southern California, that's where it was. She destroyed over 100 plates. Now, man, I wonder if she's ever going to pay for those. Probably not. The topless woman was caught on video Thursday around 11:20 a.m. grabbing plates from a large stack in the seating area of the Hawthorne, California restaurant and smashing the hell out of them. I don't know if you guys remember, there was a movie about probably 25 years ago now, maybe more, and it was based on a restaurant in Hawthorne, I believe. And that movie was, in fact, I'm going to make this a quiz question. Who can tell me what movie that was, where Hawthorne was featured in a movie, or actually a cafe, little restaurant in Hawthorne was featured in this movie, and I bet you know what it is. And I'll give you a hint. It was over 25 years ago, but it was a very famous movie. It was a cult classic, so to speak. So I know you guys know this, and go ahead and please tell me if you know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to have you answer this question for me ahead of time. Let me know if you can answer the question. And if you cannot, I don't know what to tell you, but I will answer the question for you at the end of the clip, and I will tell you what's going on with that. So, let me finish the story here just to kind of put a cap on it. Let's see. So she was smashing all these plates. Okay, so this says her rampage went on for at least a couple of minutes as patrons and employees yelled for her to stop. Of course they're going to tell her to stop when they keep going and cheering her on. Now, if they had videotaped it, maybe it was worth something. They probably could have made more money out of the video than telling her to stop. Probably in today's society, the way we do videos today. Well, anyway, it says her only reply was, "Shut the F up, man," and then quickly back to the bang-up work at hand. Oh, boy. And then it says police showed up while she was still in the middle of her plate-chucking riot and eventually controlled the situation and detained the woman. Now, the thing about it is this didn't start in the restaurant, by the way. The cops were telling us that they had gotten a call about a woman at a bus stop taking her clothes off and arguing with people before making her way into the Denny's. We're told she was detained and will undergo a mental evaluation. You think? You think she needs a mental evaluation? I think so. Cops believe that she was under the influence of something. We don't know exactly what it was, but maybe she has TDS? Do you think it was TDS, guys? I don't know. We'll find out. By the way, the Denny's is closed for regular dining due to the coronavirus, but it's still open for online order pickups, which luckily don't require plates. So I thought that was kind of interesting that that she had to, she goes there and starts smashing plates. The funny thing, how did she get into the area where she was able to get access to plates? I don't get that. If it's closed for regular business, how did she get access to the plates? That's an interesting question. I don't know. Do you? I don't know if you know either. But let me know, guys, if you have an answer to that. So yeah, that was very interesting. Speaking of questions, I do have another question. I know that you guys have been extremely cooped up, and probably a lot of you are going crazy. I know I am. I am a little bit stir crazy through all this. So I have the question. I also have a question for you. I don't know if you can see it now. It'll be on the broadcast here. Beyond that, I realize that we're going stir crazy and we're having a tough time with that. How about financially? Has this hurt you severely? Now, for those, maybe it hurts them a little bit. I understand that. It hurt me a little bit. I understand that we all go through a little bit something like this financially in these situations. But I want you to tell me if this has really severely hurt you financially, like put you in a real bind, maybe with mortgages or rent or whatever it may be. Tell me what you think about that. So go ahead and answer that question for me. And if you don't want to, that's fine, but I really think it's interesting to talk about, everybody. What else is going on in the news today? I know that we had the story of the president suggesting that UV rays and bleach as possible COVID treatment. Now, this has been going on for a long time. And like I said, the reporter there was trying to make fun of the president for even bringing it up. But remember, he got that from an expert. He got that from a scientific expert. So the point is that for you to say that it's stupid or ridiculous to do that, to even suggest such a thing, I think that's kind of stupid of the reporters and the media to even bring that up as something ignorant. I mean, it's just ridiculous to me. I don't get it. I don't understand their whole thought process there. Well, I do. They're trying to hurt him. But, I think that's self-explanatory. So, here's another story about a guy. Now, look, here's another issue with this whole pandemic going on. If you're trying to get any kind of elective surgeries or what you would consider a very serious and necessary surgery or any kind of treatments, you've been having a hard time with that. And that includes dentist visits. Believe it or not, there's a story here that says man pulls own tooth in a quarantine. Dentist says don't try it. Well, come on. If he's having a tough time with it and it's causing a lot of pain, then I think that, he's well within his rights to do what he needs to do, obviously. Now, I will say that you got to be careful with what you restrict in these situations. I've heard of people dying because they didn't get a tooth treated in time, literally an infection that would kill them. So, I think that I don't know if you can call dentistry a non-essential service. I think in many cases it's very essential, and I don't know why they would even make that illegal. It doesn't even make any sense to me. I mean, tell me what you think about that. Do you think it makes any sense to turn this into something that it's actually could be a danger to somebody and tell, well, no, you can't do that. So this guy takes it upon himself to do this own surgery on himself. Why not? I mean, you've heard of that. You tie it to a bedroom door or something, or some kind of a door, and you slam the door and it's supposed to take your tooth out. I guess that might have worked. In fact, if you guys have any stories about that, something you did or something that a family member or a friend did that you know about, that you were part of or you just heard about, I would love to hear your story. That would be a great story. So anyway, the story starts like this in the article. DIY dentistry is apparently becoming a thing during coronavirus lockdown, at least in the United Kingdom. Oh, this happened in the UK, where one man yanked his own chomper out with a pair of pliers. Oh, could you imagine taking a pair of pliers and just yanking out your tooth? My goodness, that's insane. But you know what? If I was in enough pain and I wasn't allowed to see a dentist, I might be tempted to do so. Comes to that point. So with dentist offices shuttered due to the restrictions brought on by the virus, a 33-year-old father in the UK took matters into his own hands when one of his teeth got infected. So remember, guys, if a tooth gets infected, it could kill you. Literally, it could kill you. So I don't blame the guy. I don't know. I just think these restrictions, so what would happen? Here's another hypothetical question. Boy, this show is full of questions today. What would happen if, because the government told people, you can't have these services done, you cannot have these dental services or any of these what we consider to be non-essential services, can't do it, and then somebody ends up dying from a tooth infection? Remember, it has happened. Now, can this guy or girl, whoever it happens to, can they sue? Can their families sue the government for not allowing this? It's an interesting question. And what happens if they don't die but they get really sick and they require further medical attention? Attention that is not necessarily has killed them, but has put them in a situation where they have to spend a lot of extra time and money, a lot of extra heartache, because the government told them they can't do something. I think that's really an interesting question to ask. And, so you see how the government can cause a lot of problems here. by not allowing certain things. They're getting kind of in the middle of our private lives, and they're affecting our health and safety in that way. They talk about this virus, but what about the fact that if you have a bad infection, in many cases that can be worse than the virus? So, I don't know. But let me continue with the story here. His name is Billy Taylor. He says he couldn't get an emergency dental appointment, so he looked up some dental procedures on YouTube when the pain wouldn't subside. After a quick online tutorial and a couple shots of whiskey, definitely need that whiskey. Hello, you see what I'm saying? I mean, hey, can whiskey be considered a medical treatment now? Ooh, never thought about that. So Billy yanked out his infected tooth with pliers. The process took an hour, but Billy finally got the tooth out of his head. He says it was bloody painful. It was bloody painful. And hideous. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone unless they knew what they're doing. I know a lot of British listeners here. If you're a British friend of mine from the UK, you're probably mocking me right now for this poor attempt at your vernacular, the way you speak. I'm sorry, I'm trying, But, it was bloody painful. It was bloody painful, I say. What is that, like the Cockney style? I know, it's ridiculous. How do I get this out? Oh, sorry. I finally got that to come out. Okay. So, of course, so there's this doctor, okay. Listen to these guys. Now, look, I understand you should not do this if it's just something that is truly an elective procedure, like you just don't like the way your tooth looks, or it's a crooked tooth. You're saying, I need dental surgery to fix the cosmetics of my teeth or whatever. I understand that. Nobody in this whole crisis needs to have a boob job, while they're, going through this. That's not what they need. So, obviously, I think this was an extraordinary circumstance that could have had very, very deadly repercussions if he didn't take action in this regard. So anyway, let's listen to this doctor. This doctor says, she explains why DIY dentistry is a terrible idea. The good doc says the biggest danger is not being able to get the entire tooth pulled, which could lead to even more problems and force you into a dental chair regardless. For the record, most statewide quarantines allow for emergency dental appointments, especially when you're dealing with severe pain. Bottom line, hold off on the in-home surgeries. Leave your teeth to the pros. And again, generally, yes, this doctor is correct. I don't want to hit on, bang down on this doctor and be like, you're terrible, this is horrible. No, in general, she's correct. But I gotta say, and second of all, this was in the UK. Now, in America, I can understand how, in states, they probably would, states will allow for extreme emergencies. So don't get me wrong. If you go to an emergency room and your tooth is severely infected, the doctors are probably going to say, look, we got to do some dentistry, or we got to send you to a dentist. This has to be done. But in the UK, I don't know how that's handled. The UK is not, I hate to say it, my friends over there in Great Britain, but, you're not as free as we are in America, and I don't know if your laws even allow for that necessarily. And, oh, by the way, if you're from the UK, please enlighten me. If I'm wrong about that, I want to know that I'm wrong. Please enlighten me and let me know that I'm absolutely incorrect about such a thing, But we'll see. I don't know if I'm right or wrong. But please, tell me now. Ah, man, I gotta tell you. So that's something else where, we kind of cross over into that line of where is government more harmful than good? And I think really, I guess you could call it the theme of this particular show. Is government really helping us all the time, or can it reach a point where it's gone over the limit? In the name of safety, what they call safety. It's just like when there are certain groups that want to control our guns. They want to control, whether or not we can own guns, what type of guns we can own, how many guns we can own, all those things. And they say it's in the name of safety. But there comes a point where what if, in the name of safety, they end up, allowing more people to be killed? Because they say you can't have a certain amount of guns, or you can't have guns at this particular time, at this particular place. The gun-free zones, things like that. People die because of that. Let's be honest. And there's many stories. There was a young woman a few years back who was in a restaurant with her mother and father in Texas, and the law was that you could not carry your gun on you. So she goes into the restaurant with her gun in her car. And a gunman comes out, and what does he do? He starts shooting up the place. Now, she can't tell the gunman, time out, time out. Let me go to my car so I can defend myself. That's not the way this works, guys. So the gunman proceeded to kill many people there. In fact, what happened is her father and mother actually saved her life. They shielded her and told her, run out the back quickly, run now, and they got in the way of the gunman. And of course, the gunman killed both of her parents. So let that be a lesson, government. I understand your desire to keep people safe. Believe me, I'm not against that. But there is a limit. We do have constitutional rights, and I believe that this whole safety issue is really becoming an issue. I think we need to come to the point where we say, you know what? I think it's time for the government to open up a little bit, allow for us to follow our constitutional rights and have freedoms. And of course, I think we can leave it up to the American people to decide what is right for us. We have the intelligence and the wisdom to do what is right as we open up this country again. Don't you agree? I hope you do. But yeah, this is just getting this is crazy. It's totally crazy. So it's just nuts. I guess I'm going to end this little show soon. I didn't want to take up too much of your time tonight, but please, I want you to definitely, if you're watching this on YouTube later, this is not live on YouTube, but if you're watching it, please subscribe and hit that notification bell, and that would be cool. In fact, before I go, let me go ahead and run my little commercial. This show is brought to you by me, and me alone. At least this show is, okay? So we'll be right back in a sec. Hey guys, if you want more great content from me, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Come on, what are you waiting for? Okay, and we are back. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you do that. And if you're watching me on Facebook or any of the other platforms, please, whatever it may be, follow, like, go ahead and follow. I'm on Twitter. I am on, of course, Facebook and Instagram and many others. So go ahead and do that. And I'm going to go ahead now and show you my website. So let's go there right now. This is my website, Michaelantonio Live, and it's at michaelantonio.biz, everybody, michaelantonio.biz. And if you look right here, where you might see my cursor, this is the upper right here of my website. This is an easy way for you to go to all of my social media sites and join me. As you see, I'm on Twitter, I am on Gab, Facebook, Instagram, many others. So please don't hesitate and just, peruse around my website. I do actually also sell products. I don't do a lot of that. I don't pitch that a lot, my products, but you can go ahead and look at my products, shop on my product page. You can click on this, or you can go up to the top. I have a hot gifts clicker here, as you see. And if you're interested in that, you can go ahead and do that. I also have a place where you can win. I have things you can win. Some gift cards, different things. And if you just go ahead and share, if you enter in different ways, if you share me on all these different platforms, visit, follow, whatever it may be. So that's a way to follow me. That's a good way. You can actually enter to win my giveaways. So guys, I don't want to take up all your time tonight. So if you go ahead and just do those things, please, it'll make things a lot better. And also give me suggestions as to what do you want to hear. I'm going to be doing a couple of shows. I'll be doing a couple of shows where I am entertaining. Just a little background about me. If you haven't heard about me, I am a former Las Vegas entertainer, and so I do have a little bit of that in me, I guess. And so if you want to hear some original stuff from me, and again, go to my YouTube has. In fact, I should go to my YouTube site just to show you some things before I go, because it's kind of cool. You know, I have a lot of songs that I put on there. I have some cover stuff that I've done. I have some original stuff that I've done, and you know, mix and match. So you can find things that might even sound like originals. They may not be. They might sound like covers, but they're originals. You just don't know. So this is what I want you to do. Just check me out over here. And this is all my stuff. I have many videos. I also have one. I'm going to play one time here during my live show. I'm going to play some interviews that I did, some very cool interviews that I did with Rocky. That's right. I interviewed Rocky Balboa, everybody. And let me tell you, it was great. Yeah, it was a great interview I had with Rocky. And also, I can't believe I was able to score this one, but I was able to grab a little sit-down with Mr. Darth Vader. That's right, Mr. Darth Vader. I know, it sounds impossible. Believe it or not, it's not. It was pretty easy for me to sit down and have a good talk with him. It wasn't easy to get a hold of him, but once I sat down with him, it was great. So you want to go to my YouTube page, and you can watch that interview. Actually, the full interviews I have on there, and I have clips. I have one video with clips from both interviews. So if you want to check those out, you're welcome to do so. Anyway, guys, I got to go, but it's been great talking to you tonight. And remember, share this video, share my pages, and you know, it's important that we keep up. To me, it's important to not only learn new things, but to come up with solutions for the issues that we face. And I think, you know, there's a lot of smart people trying to do that, but I think there's also a lot of people that have their own twisted agenda, if you know what I mean. So let's be problem solvers. That's my advice to you, is to be a problem solver instead of a problem creator just for your own agenda. And that's what we see happening today in the world. Too much of that. So guys, God bless you. Love you all. And I will see you next time.